not subscribed to our channel, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button as shown above. Hello friends, welcome to Kamat Astrology. In today's video, we are going to cover Saturn re-entering the sign of Capricorn in retrograde motion starting 12th July 2022. And Saturn is going to remain in the sign of Capricorn in retrograde motion till 23rd October 2022, and then he is going to become direct. So in this video, let us analyze the impact of this transit in general on all of us as well as on the world as a whole. So from 29th April 2022, Saturn was transiting in the sign of Aquarius. He was moving in a direct motion, and then on 5th June 2022, he became retrograde in the Dhanishta nakshatra portion that lies in the sign of Aquarius. Now he is continuing that retrograde motion and he is re-entering into Capricorn on 12th July 2022. So a retrograde Saturn is also known as Vakri Shani. Retrograde is when a planet appears to move backward when observed from the Earth. It is an apparent illusion. The planet does not really move backward, but to us it appears as if it is moving backward. Now whenever a planet is retrograde, it makes us go back into the past. It makes us introspect. Now what is Saturn representing? Saturn represents karma. Saturn represents our actions. Saturn is a judge. Saturn represents karmic justice. In which sign is Saturn going retrograde? Now Saturn is going retrograde in the natural 10th house, that is in the sign of Capricorn or Makar. And what does the sign of Capricorn or Makar represent? It represents the economy, it represents the world stage, it represents order, it represents hierarchy, it represents structures. Being the natural 10th house in the zodiac belt, it represents karma, and Saturn is also known as Karma Adhipati. That is, he is the one who gives us the fruits of our actions. And when Saturn is retrograde, he is very powerful, which means that he will make us go back into the past, look at our actions, and at the same time, he will also give us the fruits of those actions. Now, those fruits can be good or bad, depending on the type of karma we have performed in our past. So when Saturn is going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn also represents the government, the economy, the world stage, and all of these will be impacted as a result of Saturn's retrograde motion. If you observe right now, Rahu is transiting in the Bharani nakshatra, which is ruled by Yama, the god of death. And Bharani nakshatra indicates a birthing process, which is very painful. So now Saturn is going to give us the fruits of our karmas, which we have performed in the past. And how is it going to do this? It is going to shake the government, it is going to shake the economy, it is going to shake the world order. And since Rahu is in Bharani nakshatra, it is going to bring out a lot of secrets related to the government, related to politicians across the world, related to our karmas in general. So lot of secrets will come out, especially with reference to those in power, those in politics, as well as those who belong to the film industry. Why film industry? Because Rahu is in Bharani. Bharani is ruled by Venus. And when Rahu is in Bharani, he is also going to bring out those secrets. So a retrograde Saturn in Capricorn and also in the sign where Pluto is present. Pluto represents breakdown of hierarchical structures, which means this Saturn is going to cause a lot of turmoil in the political arena, as well as with respect to governments and people holding high positions in power across the world. So their true faces are going to come in front of us. Even the bad karma which we have performed in the past, we may suddenly get exposed for those bad karmas. So in short, Saturn is definitely going to do karmic justice till he is retrograde, that is till 23rd October 2022, in a very severe and impartial way. Now Capricorn is the natural 10th house. It also represents the job, the profession that we do. And when Saturn is going retrograde in the 10th house, it means Saturn may make us meet somebody from our past job, from our past professions. Saturn may also cause us to change jobs in this time period, to think deeply what we want, and then take a decision. But whether the change we make will be for our good or bad, that depends on the karma which we have performed in the past. If you have done good karma in the past, if you have worked hard at your workplace, then the new job which you get or the new role which you get, Saturn will push you forward, will encourage you, will motivate you. But if you have been dishonest in your work, if you have cheated, then the new kind of role, the new kind of work that you will get, or the new kind of job that you will get, that will be very troublesome for you when Saturn is retrograde. Now, since Saturn is retrograde, Saturn has special aspects, that is, it aspects the 3rd, 7th, and 10th house from where it is placed. You have to count the first house as the house where Saturn is placed. So, going by that logic, Saturn is going to put its third aspect on the sign of Pisces or Mean, where you can see Jupiter and Neptune. He is going to put his 7th aspect on the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the Moon, and he is going to put his 10th aspect on the sign of Libra or Tula, where Ketu is present right now in transit. Now, what is the impact of Vakra Drushti or the aspect of a retrograde Saturn? Let us analyze that. Now, Jupiter is in its own sign in Pisces, along with Neptune. And Pisces represents spiritual waters. Pisces represents spirituality. It is the last sign in the zodiac belt, and therefore it is also a pathway to moksha. Now, whenever Jupiter is present with Neptune, Neptune represents Varun, the god of water. Jupiter expands whatever it is in conjunction with. So it is going to expand the signification of Neptune. And therefore, when Saturn aspects this combination of Jupiter and Neptune, it is going to bring severe floods across the world. There will be heavy rainfall across the world. There will be floods in different portions of the world because of this aspect of Saturn. But Saturn's third aspect on the sign of Pisces helps those who are spiritually inclined, who are helping the poor and needy. So Saturn will give good fruits to such people. But across the world stage, this aspect of Saturn will result in cloudbursts, will result in heavy rainfall, and will result in tornadoes, floods, and cyclones across the world. Another thing is Jupiter represents our belief system. Jupiter represents spirituality. Jupiter represents optimism. Neptune represents illusion and deception. And when Saturn aspects this combination, that illusion, that deception is going to be exposed. What does this mean? It means that during this time period, there will be religious turmoil across the world. Different religious sects or different people of different religions will fight with each other. And this is going to increase manifold till the time Saturn is retrograde, that is till 23rd October 2022. There will be a lot of religious clashes in different parts of the world, especially between Muslims and Hindus, Christians and Muslims. This thing is going to happen because of the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Pisces and being aspected by Saturn. Earlier, I had made a video explaining that whenever Jupiter and Neptune become conjunct in Pisces, there will be heavy floods and religious disharmony will increase across the world. And that is exactly what is going to happen as well as what is happening right now. Now, Saturn puts its seventh aspect on the sign of Cancer, and the sign of Cancer is nothing but our emotions, our feelings. It is also the natural fourth house, so it represents our home, our mother, as well as our peace of mind. So, when Saturn aspects the sign of Cancer, and especially because it is retrograde, it is going to create lack of peace of mind. It is going to create problems in different countries, especially on India's borders as well as on India's neighboring countries. And these problems will be more amplified once the sun enters into the sign of Cancer, which is around 15th July 2022. On 16 July 2022, sun enters into the sign of Cancer and Saturn will start aspecting the sun from the sign of Capricorn. That is, Saturn will put the seventh aspect on the sun. Now, the sun represents the king, the sun represents the government. The sign of Capricorn itself represents the public and the masses. Saturn also represents poor people, it represents the laborers, it represents the masses. And since Saturn and Sun are in opposition with each other, this is going to be a tough time for governments across the world. Because the masses, the people will be in opposition with the government and there will be a struggle between the masses and the government. Especially so, India's borders will be under severe stress in this time period, as well as there will be lot of turmoil in India's neighboring countries. You can also see Rahu and Mars conjunction in the sign of Aries, and that is an explosive conjunction. Why? Because Mars represents energy, Mars represents power, and Rahu amplifies that energy, that power, and creates explosive situations, creates fiery situations across the world. Because the sign of Aries is a fire sign, Mars is a hot planet, and Rahu amplifies that heat, that fire, and this results in a lot of fire incidents across the world. Mars also represents the Bhumi Tattva, Mars represents the earth element. Uranus is also present with Rahu and Mars. And when this conjunction, or when Saturn rather enters the sign of Capricorn in retrograde motion, Rahu and Uranus are almost at 24 and 25 degrees, which means they are very close to each other. So this is a time when aeroplane disasters increase, aeroplane crashes increase, and the possibility of earthquake also increases in this time period because the earth element represented by Mars is highly activated and disturbed. So this Angarak Yoga increases the anger in people, increases the anger in masses. Jupiter-Neptune conjunction indicates a religious disharmony across the world, conflicts between different sects, different religions, and Saturn's aspect further creates more problems. Now let us look at Saturn's 10th aspect. It falls on the sign of Libra or Tula, which is the natural 7th house, which represents partnerships, which represents harmony, which represents balance. We already have Ketu present here, who is disturbing that balance. Ketu is also an indicator of spirituality, of religion. Whenever Saturn aspects Ketu, it is generally not a good thing. Because Ketu indicates detachment, Ketu indicates leaving things, and Saturn is putting its 10th aspect on Ketu. So this is a karmic incident, and it is due to the collective bad karma of humans that religious disharmony will spread across the world. So friends, this is a time when we need to be very careful, consciously try and avoid hurting each other's religious beliefs, and we should try to stay united. If you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to our channel Kamath Astrology, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button For any consultations, please email us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com. You can also reach us through our website astroseva.tripod.com. So friends, thanks a lot. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.